Watch me turn this into this. Hi, my name's Emma and welcome to my channel. Today you get to see me turn this disaster into a very aesthetically pleasing, very organized, beautiful kitchen pantry. That is right, I am redoing my entire kitchen pantry. As you can tell, I pulled everything out from the cupboards and I am going to be organizing, relabeling everything, and just making it all around more aesthetic, more functional, all around more pretty. But first I need to clean my actual like kitchen mess, like my cooking mess. So I will do a speed clean now. I went to the dollar store and got jars. I already have some of these jars, but I got a bunch more. And one of the women working there saw me struggling. Do you need boxes by chance? And I was like, yes, please. Yeah, so I just got a bunch. I counted everything beforehand of what sizes I needed and how many of each size I needed. And now I got my handy dandy helper to help me wash them. Thanks. Okay, so we got all the jars clean now and they're all drying, but now I have the dilemma of if I want to let them air dry and wait, and patiently wait, or do I hand dry each individual jar? That just seems like a lot of work, you know? Okay, so I'm slowly making progress. We got some jars here, got some over here as well. For right now, I just don't want to like mix anything up, so I'm just labeling the bottom with a Sharpie. And if you're worried to like write on glass with Sharpie because it's permanent, it's not, because you can just use nail polish remover, acetone, and that will take away the Sharpie. That is the one thing I learned from my chemistry degree. That's just my solution in the meantime. I really want to get labels. The only thing is I really want labels from this company called Labels Co. They're so pretty, but they're so expensive. And I just spent like $1 billion on jars. So I have to figure out a different method for labels. I don't know if I'm just gonna like buy a bunch of labels that you can handwrite on, because I have pretty nice handwriting, not to like toot my own horn or anything, but like I have pretty nice handwriting. I was even thinking of getting like a white Sharpie and like writing nicely like right on the jar. Only thing is I feel like that won't quite be thick enough. Here is the final product. I got all my jars with all my foods in them. Took forever. Now I'm gonna organize them into different categories of which is going in which cupboard. So I'll have like a kind of like a baking section, sweets, snacks, more so that kind of stuff. And then on the other hand, I'll have more like dinner things, I don't know, pastas. And then over here, I just got a Lazy Susan from the dollar store to put all our sauces and oils on, just to keep it nice and organized. One of my favorite parts of the kitchen is we have our spice cabinet up here. I have a stand that has 3 different levels on it, and the spice containers I got are from a different store, but they just happen to fit like perfectly 4 in there. I need to get 2 matching salt and pepper grinders. I need grinders, not just shakers. I also have another shelf up here with extra spices, and I have extra shelves for things if I need to. Now for the tricky part. So we have one corner of our kitchen here. We got our Lazy Susans going on, but can't like overweight them too much. But then I also have this cupboard, which is like super, ew, I need to clean it. It's super big, but it's like I can't reach the back corner there. So now I gotta make sure everything is kind of more at the front and doesn't keep getting like pushed back. Got some new Nespresso coffees today for my, obviously, Nespresso coffee machine. So I'm gonna fill those up right now. I have this stand. I'm gonna get a new one because it's like really easy to like bop them out of their holders. Also, it's like not the most convenient, I find. It's like kind of hard to grab the ones underneath without like getting the other ones. They have like drawers and they just like roll out, and then you can put stuff on top of the drawers, if that makes sense. And there's just like 3 rows of like pods, so I kind of want to get one of those. But for now I have this. Better to organize them than nothing. And eventually I want to be able to get reusable pods so you can put your own coffee grounds in. That would be pretty cool. Another tip I have is for things that you aren't going to put in cans. Like I have a big box of just baby snacks and foods for my daughter. So like putting them all together in a bin, and you're like, Timmy's hungry. You go over and you can like get your little bin of snacks. Also then it just kind of keeps all like the smaller miscellaneous things from like kind of floating around in your shelf, kind of keeps them a little bit more contained. Another tip I have is obviously like you're not going to be able to always fit the exact bag in the container. For example, I have a big bag of sugar that I obviously can't fit just in my canister, so I can keep my leftover extra sugar. I'm going to put all my extra packages and bags in one box at the back of my cupboard so that when something runs low, I can refill it and use that main like jar of sugar instead of using the plastic paper bag or whatever packaging it comes in. So I guess this has just become a little segment on like my tips and tricks for kitchen organization, so I'll just keep going with it. The overarching thing from those last two tips is if you group things together, I find that can be really helpful. So like right now what I do is I'm semi-organize it into like kind of like my baking goods and then kind of snacks I keep in a section, and then like kind of more like dinner things. Okay, so another tip I have is to have a lot of containers and canisters, stands, and what I mean by that is things like the spice container I have, how I have the stands for all my different spices. That way you have your jars, but they have a spot that they go and they don't run astray from that. So like your jars don't end up all like scattered all over the cupboard all the time. They always have a certain spot that like keeps them in space. It's like the same idea as like a cutlery holder. Another tip I have to keep your kitchen looking nice and clean and organized, like aesthetically pleasing, is to have as much stuff matching as you can. So you can see all the jars that I got were all the exact same jars except for like different sizes. So I was able to find jars that came in multiple different sizes that I needed. That way everything was matching and it all looked cohesive and like it was supposed to be together, and it came in a set. It just looks nice and clean and minimal. If you start having different containers, it can start to look a little clustered. Not that there's anything wrong with that. If you're trying to go for like a clean minimal vibe, that's obviously not going to get you there. If you can't find the exact same containers, something like finding a similar ground between them. So you could get all glass containers, or all the containers are the same size, or all the containers have the same color or the same type of lid or something like that, just to kind of make them look like they're a unit. Another, it's not really an organization trick, it's more of a save yourself dishes trick, is when I have something that comes with a scoop, I've been saving them and I put them inside. I obviously like wash them and clean them first, but they go inside my jars. So when I need my quinoa, I can just scoop out some quinoa or whatever it is really easily. Just makes it a little bit more accessible, a little bit more functional. You'll have to excuse the crying baby in the background. It's bedtime right now and we are not too keen about bedtime. My other thing that I did to help with my organization right now, because I don't have labels, hint, hint, wink, wink, comment down below if you have any suggestions on affordable but also aesthetic options. For now, what I did is I wrote on the bottom of what everything is, and I also wrote the best before date because that is important information if you're gonna throw out the package. Luckily, I know what most things in my pantry already look like, but if this was someone else in my kitchen, they might have a hard time for now, which is why I want labels on the front. But another suggestion that I'd have for labels on the front is making sure they're as straight as possible, that all the labels are equally placed from like the top to bottom, so they're all like in line with each other with all the jars, all the same size jars. So like I put it maybe in the middle on this jar, and obviously a taller jar is going to end up being taller because it's in the middle, but if they're all in the middle for this size jar, they'll all like line up. Does that make sense? Oh, I wanted to mention before I forgot how much everything costs. So all the jars and stuff cost about $50 or so from the dollar store, which is like really not that bad if you consider, like, I was looking at packages on Amazon for containers and stuff and they were hefty. I have like a lot of containers now, so not that bad. My spice racks, those cost $10 each. Those little spice jars I have, those were about less than $1 each. Definitely recommend getting things as cheap as you possibly can because it adds up super fast when you have to buy like 20 or so of them for like all your spices, all your whatevers. So definitely recommend getting as cheap as you can. But I mean, like if you have the money to splurge on something a little bit prettier, also not going to stop you from doing that. Okay, I have a nice clean kitchen counter again. All the food is actually put away in the pantry, my food cupboards, but I will show you now what the like semi-final product looks like. So in this first corner here, this is like my baking snack cupboard. On the bottom, right now it's easier to tell in person, but this is like my icing sugar, white sugar, flours. I got my oats, got my coconut sugar, and then this top shelf is kind of more of my snack pile. So I got like my popcorn and nuts to snack on, protein bars, some more trail mix. I would have put that in a jar, but this jar is already full of nuts. So other things like I have cacao powder for whatever I need, and then this is also a Lazy Susan, so I can spin it around and get like coconut shreds to put on snacks and stuff. I think that looks pretty satisfying. So that's that cupboard. Hey, what's up? Over in the other corner here, this literally looks like, you know, when you go to IKEA and they just have jars and they have cardboard inside the jars and like show pasta and stuff. I feel like that's what this looks like, but it's real. So I have all the jars, all my like more so like dinner, lunchy, like savory kind of things over on this side. Things I use lots of like rice noodles, gluten-free pasta, rice. Over here I have things like all my oils. I have it on a Lazy Susan so I can spin it around and get everything without having to like jam all the jars all the time. Like down below, this is obviously where it kind of still becomes a work in progress. As I said earlier, I want to get a new coffee pod holder, a drawer instead of a spinner, because I don't really like the spinner. I knock things off way too often. And then I have things like my baby snacks. I was gonna put that bin in here, and then I realized I couldn't fit it through this tiny narrow thing, so I figured it wouldn't be that helpful in here. I might like shove it in a weird angle and then use it to hold the baby stuff. I don't know, we'll see. But like I do have other jars back behind there, but these are just the main ones I use the most. I put them in the front. I think I'm gonna make a part 2 of this video, so please comment down below. I can talk more about how I like organize my, what's the word? Tupperware drawer, that one, or like my cutlery drawer. I can talk about how I organize that one. Also talk about, I have like a pantry. I actually do need help with this. So this is like my pantry right now. It's not the worst, it could be better, but right now I'm having a dilemma actually, and I need help. I have these bins that conveniently 5 fit right across. This is the new one, obviously. Or I have this one that is slightly smaller, but it's white, so I feel like overall it looks a bit cleaner. I kind of like the idea of having clear bins so I can see what everything looks like, but now I feel like it looks a little bit too messy. So I don't really know what I want to do. So please comment down below. Do we like A, the white bin that's clean, a little bit smaller, also doesn't have a lid, or B, the clear container that's bigger, fits perfectly, has a lid, but you can see everything in it and it can look kind of messy? Comment down below and let me know, please. If you want me to find more kitchen tips and tricks on how to organize things, and you want to see how I organize my cupboard, pantry, storage, closet situation, it's kind of like, you know, you're like how you have your random drawer, it's like my random closet. Let me know if I want a video on that, like a little mini kitchen tour on how I organize everything and how I've made my kitchen look so aesthetic. Also comment down below, please let me know if you want to see those videos. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out, and put on your post notifications. If you found my video at all helpful, entertaining, satisfying, any of these, please like my video. It really helps support my channel. I know everyone says this all the time, but it genuinely does, and I really appreciate it. If you like my videos, it also shows me that you like the content that I'm making, so like if I get a lot of likes in this videos, then I know that I can make a part 2. Thanks so much for watching my videos. Bye.